Shalom, shalom. Give you honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We finna go into this high holy day, PURIM, right? Okay, it's coming up. This so-called Friday and Saturday, right? Okay, and the word PURIM, I mean lots, the casting of lots, right? So PURIM, you give gifts to one another, to the poor, and also you have the Lord delivering us from the hands of our enemies. Okay, right? So let's get into it. This is Esther 9 and 20. All right, let's go to it. Esther 9 and 20. Esther 9 and 20. Okay, and this Esther 9 and 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the province of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far. Verse 21. To establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly. Right, let's go to Esther 8 and 11. This is Esther 8 and 11. Okay, Esther 8 and 11. Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. Right, during the time of Esther, you had a Elamite named Haman, and he cast a lot on the Jews to destroy all the Jews on a particular day, on the 13th, 14th, 15th day, and they were going to destroy every Israelite that was in the man's empire, from India to Ethiopia. And you had Israelites in these different continents, and they said it is time to kill the Israelites. And you had a man called Mordecai that wouldn't bow down to the Edomites, and you can read about this in Esther, in addition to Esther, right? So let's go to Esther 9 and 2. Okay, right, to see if the king give a decree, you know what I mean, to destroy them wicked Edomites. Okay, right, through the Most High. Let's go to Esther 9 and 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the province of the king Ahasuerus, to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people. Right. Instead of the Israelites getting destroyed, they destroyed the Elamites that were coming to destroy them, and that was a decree that was given by the king, and said, I know I signed and said this could be done, but he reversed it, and now you can destroy these heathen. And when they destroyed the heathen, and they declared that these days to be holy, the feasting, the gladness, and the day of mirth. Right. Okay. Let's go to Esther 9 and 22. Yeah, so it's feasting and gladness of mirth. Okay, right. Let's go to Esther 9 and 22. Esther 9 and 22. As the days were in, the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month of which was turned it unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make of them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portion one to another, and gifts to the poor. Right, the PURIM is the 14th and 15th day of the month of Adar, and that should be the last month of the year. And the PURIM is when the Lord delivered you from your enemies and the death of your enemies. And also Adar is a Babylonian name, and again PURIM is a dedicated day that the Lord killed the Edomites and his 10 sons that were hanged on the gallows, and his name is Haman, and he destroyed this man and his thoughts and devices against our people. And the Lord declared this day only and we supposed to send portion to one another like oil or wine as gifts in righteousness to one another and to the poor. Right. So we celebrate this feast of gladness, and we send gifts to the poor, okay, to one another, to our brethren and to our sisters, okay, right, because the Most High, saved us from our enemies, so we feast in gladness, okay. How Most High saved us from save our forefathers from the enemies, okay, right. This people that got the wicked devices against the Most High's people. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go Job 5:12, okay. Job 5:12. The people want to go have wicked devices against the Most High's people. Job 5:12. It's Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices, the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. The Lord is disappointed in the devices of the crafty. And who is the crafty? Them Edomites. And his enterprise is to destroy the Jews. And that's what the Edomites was planning on doing. But the Lord disappointed any man devices that has against his people if the Israelites repent and turn back to the Lord. Right. So you repent and turn back to the Lord. Most High ain't gonna let nobody, have no crafty. And they don't have no devices, no crafty devices against his people, right? Okay, right. Let's go to Esther 7:7. So Haman, his goal was to hang Mordecai. It's like, right. Let's go to it. But let's see what happens. This is Esther 7:7. And the king arise, Esther 7:7. And the king arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath went into the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make a request for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. Verse 8. Then the king returned it out of the palace garden into the palace, into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. Verse 9. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlain, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubit high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. Right. And Haman had a plan to hang Mordecai. The Lord said, no, we want to switch this thing up and hang you and your sons. And Esther trapped him up and got him in the bed, but it don't mention how he got in the bed and how she was laying with him and how it went down, but she kind of finessed Haman, and we don't know what really happened. Right. So the Most High switched it up, said, no, I want to hang you and your sons, okay? Your 10 sons, right? Okay, let's go to Esther 8:3. Okay, Esther 8:3. Mordecai and Esther, they was mighty. Okay, that's Esther 8:3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Verse 4. And then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king. Verse 5. And said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes. Let it be written to reverse the letter devised it by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, Slaki the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces. Right. Esther and Mordecai was a Benjamite, and they were mighty. Right. So they come from the sea line of Kish. Let's go to it. Addition of Esther 11 and 2. So addition of Esther 11 and 2. This edition of Esther 11 and 2. Okay. In the second year of the reign of Artaxerxes, Slaki, the Great, in the first day of the month, Nisan, Slaki, March due to us, Slaki, the son of Jeris, Slaki, the son of Simeah, Slaki, the son of Sisaiah, Slaki, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream. Right. Artaxerxes, like he was a Jew, and Kish came from the same family of Saul, and one was righteous and the other one wasn't, and they both came from Kish, which was a mighty man. Right. So this is Purim, right? Okay. So this is what we're celebrating. We're celebrating. We're feasting. Because what the Most High did, okay, he saved our forefathers, okay, from our enemies. All right, so we feasting in gladness, okay, right, for them 2 days. Now, destruction of Nicanor, okay, that's Wednesday on the 21st at sundown all the way up to Thursday, okay. Thursday sundown. So that's the destruction of Nicanor. All right. Okay, you gotta read the destruction of Nicanor. That's First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. Okay, how the Most High had his head chopped off, had his tongue, out, cut up, and threw it to the fowls. Okay. All right. So we got to celebrate the destruction of Nicanor. Okay, with feasting and gladness. Okay, I think that's First Maccabees 7:45, 6, 7, 8, 48. Okay, so right. But anyway, you need to read First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. Okay, talk about the Nicanor. Okay, destruction of the wicked Nicanor, the Edomite. Okay, all right. So that's Wednesday night on the 21st, sundown, all the way up to Thursday night. Okay, sundown. All right, it's 1 day. Then after that, Thursday night sundown is the first day of Purim. Thursday night all the way up to Friday night. That's 1 day. Okay, the second day is Friday night all the way up to Saturday night. Okay, so that's the second day of Purim. Okay, yes, Purim is gonna fall on a Sabbath, so you can cook. You can go in there and cook. Okay, on a Sabbath. All right, it's a high holy day. All right. So we got three high holy days, okay? Destruction of Nicanor, Wednesday night, okay? 21st at sundown all the way to Thursday night. At sundown, that's 1 day. And Thursday night sundown, boom. That's the first day of Purim all the way up to Friday at sundown. Boom. After that, Friday night sundown, it's the second day. Friday night sundown all the way up to Saturday to sundown. Okay, right. So it's feasting and gladness. Okay, for destruction of Nicanor and Purim. Okay, how the Most High saved us, saved our forefathers. Okay, right. Get into the accounts. Get into Esther. Okay, get into Esther. Okay, read the book of Esther. All right. Get into the Old Testament. Okay, when they got the chapters 1 through 10. I think it got 1 through all the way 10, like half a page, then 10 on down. And to the 16 is in the Apocrypha, you know what I mean? So, right. So stir up your mind, stir up your spirit, okay? Feast up, okay? Get your favorite wine, all right? Feast up. Remember, y'all can't cook on the Sabbath, okay? Right. So, anyway, hope this was edifying. I want to give the honor and glory to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shah, Shalom.